You are listening to the Standards Desk of News from The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards, with Matthew Childs and Cindy Parakill.
Hey, Cindy Parakill.
Hey, Matthew Childs.
Well, shall we have the Standards Desk of News?
Yup, let's do it.
Yes, this is the Standards Desk of News. News about standards and standards in the news. And this time we are covering stories from July 2024.
And we start with quantum technology, a top priority for Europe.
The European Commission, together with members of the High-Level Forum on European Standardization, have made quantum technology a policy priority for European standardization through the creation of a new work stream. This Workstream 16 on quantum will support the promotion of the European standardization roadmap at the international level, increase the coordination of European activities, improve the integration of standards research, and help to set priorities. The High-Level Forum on European Standardization was introduced as part of the new European Standardization Strategy, presented in February 2022 by the European Commission. The strategy recognises the role that standardisation plays in facilitating the European single market, fostering innovation, and enhancing Europe's role in global trade. The High-Level Forum brings together representatives from EU and EEA countries, European standardisation organisations, industry, civil society, and academia. The current forum comprises 55 members. Italy is leading the forum's Workstream 16 on quantum, and the first kick-off meeting was held on the 10th of July. A new Standardization Centre of Excellence.
In the United States, the National Institute of Science and Technology, or NIST, has announced a funding opportunity for the establishment of a Standardization Center of Excellence. This will support U.S. engagement in international standardization for critical and emerging technologies, or CETs. Founded in 1901, NIST is a physical science and measurement laboratory and is now part of the U.S. Department of Commerce. When it's up and running, the center will focus on 4 broad areas: pre-standardization engagement with stakeholders, workforce capacity building, an information and data sharing hub, and a collaborative pilot program for CETs. Watch this space. Now, celebrating 30 years of geospatial standards.
Yes, ISO Technical Committee 211 is celebrating 3 decades of standardising geographic information. TC 211 is responsible for establishing a structured set of standards for information concerning objects or phenomena that are directly or indirectly associated with a location relative to the Earth. Over the years, the advancement of computer software and hardware for managing and analysing data, particularly fusing it with geographical references, has resulted in a vast increase in the use of digital information worldwide.
And we've all benefited from it. If you ever got out your smartphone to check the weather where you are or use Google Maps on a journey, geospatial data will be tracking your location when you start moving. Since the creation of the Technical Committee back in 1994, it has published 97 standards.
Standards like ISO 19101, which defines the reference model for standardization in the field of geographic information. The reference model describes the notion of interoperability and sets out the fundamentals by which this standardization takes place.
And ISO 19157, a set of measures for use in evaluating and reporting data quality, giving developers a way of assessing if data are good enough for their particular application.
The committee is currently working on a further 26 standards. Congratulations to everyone on ISO TC 211, and here's to another 30 years and more. And finally, have your say on a common language for the future of flight.
BSI Flex 1903 is the first standard in the Future Flight Standards program, where BSI is working with stakeholders to support the safe deployment and trialing of innovative aircraft and drones, as well as infrastructure and operations. The aim of this BSI Flex is to create a lexicon of standard terms and acronyms used in the sector, so that when it comes to regulation and other future standards, all those involved will have a common understanding and vocabulary to use. The lexicon provides definitions for 146 terms and 72 acronyms within the context of future flight systems and their associated environments. A BSI Flex standard enables rapid and flexible standardization in situations where ideas are evolving. The purpose is to produce guidance for the marketplace whilst being adapted as needed. BSI Flex 1903 is currently open for public consultation, so have your say now.
Have your say now, yes. Now, this has been a very techie Standards Desk of News, Sydney Parakill. Quantum technology, measurements, geospatial data, future flight lexicon in terms of lexicon of terms and acronyms.
Yeah, OMG.
Very good. Now, a reminder, you can find links to some of the stories we have featured today in the show notes. And the show notes are also where you can find details of our social media and all the other ways to get in touch with us here on The Standard Show. Well, thank you, Sydney Parakill.
Thank you, Matthew Childs.
For July 2024, that's the Standards Desk of News.
You have been listening to the Standards Desk of News from The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards.
You just heard a stripped media production.